Americans being Americans. So, I'm not exactly sure what this is going to entail, but I have a feeling this could be making fun of shit that Americans do in the name of America or something of that nature. I'm intrigued. So, let's check this out.
America, the land of the free.
As long as you pay for it.
No one says today is 14th of March. People say it's March 14th, lol. Have you ever gone outside of the US?
No.
God.
Hello, yes, 999. I just had to eat a very moldy blueberry by mistake and I'd like my tongue removed. 999? You mean 911? I think if I ordered an ambulance from America, I'd be a little bit scuppered since I live in England and it's an awfully long drive. Hey, fuck.
Yeah, this is like, okay. So I see where we're going. This is people in America failing to realize that shit actually exists outside of America. This is probably going to be really good. To be fair, do we? Oh, that's awesome, Leo. Hello, everyone that's watching. I hope you get the laughs that I did. But I'm gonna be fair. Like 911 is like almost all of North America. I don't know about Mexico. I don't know if Mexico even has like an emergency services like the US does. But I know that like 911 is a thing in Canada too. Although I will say like Newfoundland only just got 911 within the last couple of years. Believe it or not, the province of Newfoundland actually did not have a 911 response center until probably about 5 years ago, I believe. 3 or 5 years ago, 911 actually got got a call center. Like I think it was like 5 years ago. Before then, you actually had to dial the police department or like the hospital emergency line or something like that. Which is pretty fucking scary if you think about it. But otherwise, everywhere else in Canada has 911. Newfoundland is like 20 years behind all of North America, which is pretty sad. But yeah, 999. I know England's got 999 for one reason and one reason only. Shaun of the Dead. It's either Shaun of the Dead or one of the Cornetto trilogies.
Cheer 100. We are better. We can do anything and don't have to leave our country to do American things elsewhere. You have to go to 14 countries.
The only reason why I know 999 is I think it's from the Cornetto trilogy. With Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I believe that's the first time I heard mention of 999. I think. Honestly, I can't say I'm surprised many people don't know what the hell it is. Realistically speaking.
Fun fact, Americans, because of how much of your media my country consumes, they had to set up Australia's phone systems to automatically reroute 911 to 000, because so many of us kids would call 911 because that's what we...
It never gets old when Americans learn in UK calling an ambulance is free. The shocked face gets me every time.
I mean, same thing in Canada. You know, an ambulance is free in Canada too. It's pretty much if an American calls for an ambulance anywhere outside of the US, they are shocked that they don't have to pay for it. Because I believe, I could be wrong about this, but I believe America, along with the rest of the healthcare, is the only country that if you call for an ambulance, you have to pay for the ambulance. And that's why I've heard of people in America where I've heard of people in America where they get in, like, if they need medical care and they say and the fire department says we're going to call you an ambulance, they say, and they absolutely refuse because they can't afford it. Like, I've heard stories about that. Well, Crimson even privatized the ambulance, like in Canada. You had to pay for it? Okay, Jesse Christopher, was it for an emergency service or was it for just a general medical transportation? I'm referring strictly to emergency services. Just for emergency services, not for like if you have to get brought from like from one place to like another for a test or something like that. 2 rides in ambulance in my adult life. One cost me nothing. Second cost $62. Nice, Taurus. Then who knows? Maybe I mean, because there are still privatized ambulance companies, but they are usually for medical transportation and emergency services. I do think Canada is trying to start moving towards more of a privatized system. I do think they are starting to go in that direction. You pay a fee most of the time reimbursed or a good part, but I remember paying $100, $200 for the ambulance. Okay. Well, sure. Yeah, that's why I think I've heard that some provinces are trying to start moving towards a more privatized situation where you are starting to pay for care that used to be part of the healthcare system. Well, undoubtedly, Falcon. Undoubtedly.
We saw on the TV. America, y'all just jealous. Stop complaining about your life. There are literally people living in the USA. Y'all just jealous because we have freedom of speech and the Second Amendment and you don't.
What? Although, I will say, I'm gonna say this statement right here, to a degree right now, is kind of starting to hit true. UK, I'm looking at you. UK is this feels kind of like aimed at the UK right now. Hate speech has never been covered by freedom of speech, but the UK is now actually arresting people for making mean Facebook posts and tweets. They're legitimately arresting them. So, like, the freedom of speech in places like the UK is under attack. Let's see. They've criminalized being offensive. Exactly. The UK is starting to go schizo with freedoms, with like freedom of speech and everything. The UK is 100% going ham on that. They are kind of UK is ahead of the curve in English law, meaning their issues could come to other countries based on common English law. Maybe. Yeah, like the UK right now is actually starting to tail into fascism. It really is. Right now the UK is starting to go in that direction, and that's not going to end well if they keep going. Unless they back off and ease the fuck back with this, it's going to start causing riots in the UK because the citizenry is not going to allow this if they keep going. And yeah, Leon, you're right. It's Brett Bassett. It should be Guy Fawkes, not V. Robust Spartan is talking about like this comment seems like, granted this is all video, but it seems like it's aimed at the UK because the UK government is trying to strip the citizenry's freedom of speech away from them. And that's going to go very badly. So.
Don't! It's in the Netherlands? I'm sorry, I don't know where some random city Amsterdam is. Jesus! What? Amsterdam is so irrelevant, bro. I bet you more people have heard of our smallest state, Vermont, than the freaking Amsterdam. No need to judge me. Also, you're British, so how do you know? Actually, your smallest state is Rhode Island, not Vermont. Shut up!
Oh god. This is such a Reddit discussion. And this guy right here is just fucking based, showing up the American. Like, dude, the small state is not Vermont. Because did he say the small state? Yeah, he did. Yeah. It's so funny because people outside of the US probably actually know more about the US than many Americans do. It's like, in my experience, more people outside of the US are more familiar with facts about the US itself than actual Americans. Americans just embrace the ideology and don't actually look at the facts behind them. That's becoming a thing. And it's always funny when it happens.
Chill, no need to have a mental breakdown. I doubt you could afford the hospital cover anyway.
Boom. Roasted.
Ancestry DNA. 42% Scandinavian, 26% Native
What?
American,
What?
24%
This person got it
European,
tattooed?
8% Asian. I gotta say though, when this person's
They actually got this shit tattooed on them. Why, for the love of God, would you have this tattooed on you? Is this so when you approach a Native American or an Asian person, you can shove your arm at them and go, "Look, I'm one of you"? Like, seriously. Maybe, Atanashi? You may be on track there. You honestly may be on track there.
Defense. They're just printing what they've been given. This is all on Ancestry DNA for just clumping Europeans together in one bundle, but isolating Scandinavia for some reason. The right to bear arms is universal. That's the recognition made by the Second Amendment. This guy's rights are absolutely being infringed here by the Australian government. On top of that, councils are a violation of your private property rights up to the line that you've infringed on someone else.
Wait. This guy is actually trying to mansplain to an Australian using US law. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh, yeah. The councils are a violation of your... I don't know. I'm guessing, like, this guy's commenting on something happening to an Australian, but he's using US law to do it. Apparently this guy thinks the Constitution is a global law, not just a country law.
Property rights. Today I learned American Constitution is universal. I
Yeah.
wonder if this person thinks that every country that starts with an A is also recognized as part of the amendment.
Oh no. This person 100% thinks that the United States Constitution is world law. This person absolutely thinks that the Constitution governs the entire planet. And they don't realize that other countries are sovereign nations. Guaranteed.
Save Australia protest erupts in
What?
New York? What? When? What?
Okay, is this regarding I forget which person in our chat is from Australia. What's going on in Melbourne? What happened in Melbourne that there's that a bunch of like freaking white saviors when we have to protest? Like, was this like the freedom of speech thing that Australia's been contending with right now? The lockdown? You think it was a lockdown? I don't know. I don't know the date of this particular post, so I don't know if it was during lockdown or anything, but oh my sucking white
I
savior.
didn't even know we needed saving. This Schmidt is hilarious. Oh, of course.
Okay.
This was 2021. What an image.
Okay, well, okay, it was 2021. Okay.
The US made of the mist at Niagara Falls packed to the railings, while the Canadian equivalent is only allowed 6 passengers per sailing. Just note this post is all from 2020. It's not that there's no Canadians anymore, it's just that they were doing the social distancing back then. But don't let that stop a proud patriot to threaten you. Just keep in mind, one could take every inch of your land if we wanted to. Well, we don't though, because we are nice.
That's an allusion to the war crimes there, baby. Oh. No, Falcon, I did not. To be honest, I could see why I didn't realize other countries' dominations based on how the American military is required to do a majority of peacekeeping operations and modernizing. Yeah. I don't know, Aaron. I'm not sure. This last post is from the Canadians. That we could take every inch of your land if we wanted to. I think it's Canadians because this person, I think was commenting about how the U.S. boat made of the mist can, you know, they can pack people on there, while as the Canadian boat only takes 6 because of social distancing. So I'm thinking when this person is replying to it, so I'm thinking this person is Canadian and kind of alluding to the fact that Canadians will fuck shit up in war if you take them off the chain. You know, alluding to the war crimes that Canadians performed. So that's what they're talking about. And yeah, it could be also reminding them about 1812.
Take every inch of your land if we wanted to. Well, we don't though, because we are nice.
People who leave their phones set to military time are freaking war criminals. How do you look at 1605 and go, wow, I can understand that? Freaking bootlickers, what's next? You gonna join the army? Recruit me?
Americans be like, okay, I can't count past 12 actually.
In the
Yeah. No kidding. I know, hell, for fuck's sake, a lot of businesses use 24-hour time in America. This is not new.
It's never war crime the first time it happens.
Is it? Oh yeah, crap it. I mean, like, I've used both. I've used, like, I have 12-hour time, but I am completely comfortable using the 24-hour clock. I have absolutely zero issues using the 24-hour clock at all. Do I have all my clocks set to 24-hour time? No, I don't. But do I understand it? Hell yes. You show me, like, Shadow Sparta, I know the time you just posted is 7:22 p.m. Like, I can, reading 24-hour time is, like, a lot of businesses use them. Yes, of course, the military uses them, but a lot of other places in America, other than the military, uses 24-hour time. Because it does make more sense. No, Eki, you didn't miss anything, don't worry. It's not complicated, that's it. This person is just lazy. This person's just lazy, and I don't know what was going through their head.
Actually, in the UK right now, a train is delayed as a cat is sitting on the roof and is refusing to come down.
I mean, typical cat behavior. Let's be honest, this is typical cat behavior right here. If I fits, I sits. The cat's just like, okay, I'm here. What are you gonna do about it? It's a cat. You really have to ask that question, Hoseki? It's a cat. It goes where the fuck it wants. Bullet train, Leo. Bullet train.
It says West Coast on the front of the train. America.
Oh god.
It's like his signature.
On a post about the Cleopatra show. Lol, I'm
Oh,
not
God.
really understanding the hate
Oh,
around
God.
this show. Egypt is obviously in Africa, so she could have been African American. Oh no! Oh no! We have no idea what she looked like, so we can't assume. So she could have been African American.
Wow. Fucking wow. Okay, now, I am gonna offer a little bit of defense. I'm going to offer a slight defense for this person's comment. Okay? Bearing in mind, most people in America do not have occasion to say this person is African. If they see, like 1,000 times a day, they will refer to a black person as African American. So, as a tiny bit of defense, this could have just been like muscle memory. This could have just been like a muscle memory reflex to say African American. Realistically. Like, okay, so, obviously in Africa, so she could have been, and they typed in the American just out of reflex. As a tiny little defense for why they put this. Bearing in mind that Cleopatra, yes, she was Greek Macedonian, which a lot of people went absolutely apeshit when Jada Pinkett Smith did this fucking Cleopatra shit on Netflix. That was a firestorm. Egypt was talking about, a lawyer from Egypt was talking about suing Netflix for this. That was just a shitstorm all on its own with that Cleopatra show.
Take a moment to think about what you said there.
This clock shows the time in the shadow based on the position of the sun. But oh
Interesting.
no, that's a higher number than 12. It would be cool if it worked in 12 hour. I'm American. Can't read military time.
I have a couple tens of thousands of American soldiers, Marines, airmen, and sailors that would like to disagree with this person. This person somehow managed to just insult every American military individual in the country. Bravo. Cops, firefighters, EMS, hospitals. No, Aaron, it is not. It is not. It is, like Hoseki just said, it is 100% skill issue. Absolutely. Get good, scrub.
Dude, you literally have the biggest military in the world. I'm pretty sure. You have the most expensive military in the world, I'll give you that. Point of view. The cops at your school sit on lifeguard chairs to watch for fights at lunch. Wowee. At least give him like a life ring that he can just throw at students.
Oh, God.
So ridiculous.
The fact that this is a thing is heartbreaking. The fact that this is a thing in America is heartbreaking. Like the condition of U.S. schools right now is just King. Many of these like quote unquote security guards are off-duty cops. A lot of off-duty cops work security at their local schools. A lot of them do. Now, not all. There are plenty that don't have actual cops working as security. This could just be a security guard, but he does have a firearm. You can see he does carry a firearm. But it's schools all over the world suck diabetes, but America right now is leading the way with basically the bang bang happening at schools a lot. And that's why they've got so many cops working security at schools because of the bang bang. Well, it could be a sheriff's badge. I mean, it's so fucking blurry. A lot of security companies emulate police badges in some way. He very well could be a sheriff or or regular law enforcement, because some law enforcement do have six-sided star badges. Or he could be security. We don't know. But he is armed, and the fact that you need to have armed guards in school in America is very sad.
Wowee. At least give him like a life ring that he can just throw at students.
So ridiculous. Donald must work on his anger management problem, then go to a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. Chill, Donald, chill. Stop the count. In no
Cheer
Hey.
100. I know 4 kids from here that went on to be cops because the resource officer was a good guy and treated them well.
That's nice sadistic. And yeah, police officer that treats, young people well can inspire them to become cops. Absolutely. It's a great thing. Yeah, well, Jamie, Jesse, Christopher, like, Canada is starting to become just as bad. It's not at the same level as the United States, but it is starting to become just as bad with violence in schools. Oh yeah, King, I know, I've heard that, like, I do not understand why people go fucking apeshit over Greta Thunberg. Like, the one thing I know her from is she's an environmental activist, and the one thing I know her from is when she made that speech in front of the UN. And nowadays, people are just dogpiling Greta and just giving her so much shit, and I just simply don't understand why they're giving her so much shit when she's basically just an environmental activist. Trying to say, look, we're fucking up the environment, we should try and do something. I don't get it. I don't get the hatred people have for her. Well, Aaron, she spearheaded it I think she was 12 years old. When she went in front of the UN, I think.
Heck, balling your fist is considered a sign of aggression in Canada.
I don't know about that, Robo Spartan. I don't know about going that far. Just love the reaction. Okay. Aaron, she gained fame because she went in front of UN at, I think it was the age of 12, and gave an impassioned speech about the environment, calling out the adults, saying, I'm like fucking 12 and more worried about the environment. 15. Okay, thank you, King. Yeah, she was basically went in front of the UN and called them out, saying, I'm fucking 15 and I care more about the environment that you, the people who actually rule countries, give a shit about. So that's kind of how it kind of like, charged up her quote unquote thing. That's why people listen to her, and she's just been very vocal.
Chill, Donald.
And yeah,
chill.
she's been getting used.
Stop the count. In no circumstance is it okay for a teenager to refer to our president by his first name. No circumstances. You're on an...
Really? Okay, so this guy... Okay, so we know who this guy voted for. Because I guarantee you, if she said this to Obama or Biden, they'd be agreeing with her. Guarantee it. I guarantee if she said that to Barack or Joe, like, literally, replace the name Donald with the name of any other president, this guy would be cheering her on. I guarantee it. Double standards, anyone?
To refer to our president by his first name. No circumstances. You're on an American website using an American browser on the internet, which Americans invented. Go f yourself, you irrelevant witch with a bee. A little bee buzzing around you.
Chinese
What?
website. Technically, the inventor of Google Chrome is Sundar Pichai, who is Tamil. The inventor of the internet was from England. The only thing American here is your education level.
I bet I know where this person's getting this from. This person's getting it from probably the remember like the joke that Al Gore supposedly invented the internet? That's my guess. I'm gonna hazard a guess because there was that joke about I can't remember if Al Gore actually tried to claim it or not, but there was this thing going around like years ago that Al Gore was the one that supposedly created the internet, and I'm betting that's where this stems from. I don't know if it's a meme or a joke or what have you, but I'm betting that's where it stems from.
Level.
Boom. Roasted.
Also, Europe is not that big, and all Europeans have pretty much the exact same culture and genetics.
What?
Oh, please.
Please go
Oh,
and say
God.
this in Europe. Go over there. Go to a town square and begin.
Wow. The lack of intellect and education here is staggering. Yeah. This guy just insulted how many millions of people? This person, man, okay, this is impressive. This man just managed to somehow insult an entire continent. He was able to insult an entire continent's worth of people. That's fucking impressive. I mean, for God's sake, there are different cultures in the US alone where this person resides. Yeah, the lack of education here is frightening.
Begin the rest of this conversation.
Someone saying they are part Irish and part French is the equivalent of saying you are part Kentuckian and part New Yorkan. Irish and French are nationalities, not race.
They can't wait. She can't even get this right. She can't even get this right. Like, thank God he got the Kentuckian part, but yeah, it's New Yorker, you dumb fuck. Like, seriously. Do you know every New Yorker that saw this post went fucking apeshit on this guy? Every single one.
Heck, fried chicken was introduced to the US by the Scottish.
Was it Robo Spartan? I didn't know that. I know that golf was introduced to America by the Scottish. That part I knew. Kinda hate that we have to say native Irish or native German soon. You think? I don't know.
Races.
Whoa, dude, how did you sprinkle some correctness in all this wrong? It's incredible.
It's like a sparkling nugget of gold in your diarrhea. Europeans are Europeans. Europe isn't big enough to distinguish one European from another.
Oh my
in their
fuck.
defense, if Europe wasn't so small, they probably wouldn't be having so many
Wait. Okay, never mind. This is just the person reading it.
wars, so...
Quick, the Americans are asleep. Post pictures of stuff that isn't expensive. Whoa, look, free Ubers.
Only because Americans pay for the healthcare of Europe.
Whoa, what?
Okay, I have heard that argument so many times when I purposely spread misinformation over the internet. Yeah. I have heard people say this all the hell. Remember I was telling you about the comments section of my Berlin Wall react. People were talking about this shit like America basically pays for all that anyway. And it's like, are you like talking about like the whole thing about how America puts more money into the UN than the European countries, etc., etc. But it is literally not that simple. Anybody that tries to simplify it like this is a fucking moron. It is never that cut and dry. If it was that cut and dry, people would have done something about it a long time ago. The financial situations and the economics of other countries in such as with their healthcare, and people love to point the finger and go, well, yeah, that's because they don't put much money into the UN as America does.
He's not technically wrong, he just explained it poorly. Cheer 100.
No, he actually, going on the face of the statement, he is technically wrong. America doesn't pay for shit for the healthcare of Europe. They talk about what he's probably trying to say is because America puts so much money into the UN for global defense, the countries in Europe don't put in as much, and therefore part of their country's budget can go to the universal health care, blah, blah, blah. Let's go down the rabbit hole of socioeconomical situations, which I ain't fucking doing again. Because I'm not dealing with that shit that's already pissing me off that people just conflate this bullshit and trying to say everyone everywhere else but America sucks because America puts up all the fucking money. Or NATO, yeah, not UN, NATO. I'm sorry, Ting, I meant NATO, not UN. Yeah. So, yeah, people love to conflate this. Like, America's putting everything in NATO and the other countries aren't doing their fair share and blah, fuckity blah.
Whoa. Use then receive true information and follow a socialist
Wait.
my concern. Whoa, what? I'd rather receive false information and keep my conservative views than receive true information and follow a socialist agenda.
Oh god, I'm having flashbacks to 2 days ago. I am 100% having flashbacks to 2 days ago right now. Like, holy shit, if this was not what I saw in the comment section. Holy fuck. Okay. No, I'm fine.
Google translates flags in non-English comments to the US flag. Foda de mes. Brazil.
Too bad, America.
It's funny to me.
No, what? Wait.
Flag. Foda de mes. Brazil.
Too bad, America.
It's funny to
God.
me that they've decided Americans are the only ones who might not realize they're foreigners. This way to foreign passports. Over here, if you're not from this country. Over here.
Okay. In fairness, I'm pretty sure that... Is this not the representative of the EU? Is this not like the EU symbol? Because I'm reasonably sure it is. In which case, like, if this is... that's the UN symbol? I thought this was also the... No, I thought this was the EU. It's NATO? Okay. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. It's... Oh, blue flag was... No, Diabetes, you're right. It is just the blue flag with the stars. You are right. I forgot about that. I forgot about that as being the flag. You are right. You're right. You're right. I forgot. I don't fuck. My guess is probably because this is outside the U.S. So yeah, they're gonna put the goddamn American flag there because chances are that's where most of their foreign tourists are coming from. I don't know.
Americans, out this way! How can this be today when it's 7:45 a.m. and this says it happened at 11 a.m.? Hi there. We are the National Gallery in London. Well, maybe put that on your screen name. There's a National Gallery in Washington, D.C. Madam, your first name unfortunately suits you.
Boom. Roasted.
Okay. I'm gonna do another in fairness here. I'm gonna do another in fairness. It does just say the National Gallery. That it does say National Gallery, and if there's a actual National Gallery in Washington D.C., yeah, I can kind of understand confusion there. Granted, this response is shit, but yeah, I'll give her a little leeway on the confusion. Not this response, though. Not the response.
See, madam, your first name unfortunately suits you.
Boom. Roasted.
She lives in Germany, bro. I have never felt this mentally well in my whole life. What a freaking time to post this. Why?
What?
Are you willfully ignorant of the Supreme Court dismantling our freedoms, or are you
Oh,
a
for
conservative or
fuck's
just
sake.
stupid? It really amazes.
This is not even she's German. This is a person's feeling mentally well, and this and this fucking this fucking lefty is like, you cannot possibly feel well based on what is happening with the Supreme Court. this is someone who's like, nobody should feeling good. Everyone should be feeling as miserable as I am because this shit is triggering me. And so everyone has to feel bad. No one can feel well. This is not even limited to just, she's from Germany. She would say the same thing to anybody that's even in the fucking US. If someone in the US that said, I'm feeling mentally great about myself, and he would attack them, even if they were in the US. Because this guy is just, I hate using the word, but this guy is just a fucking woke asshole. He's a fucking SJA that thinks everyone should feel as bad as him. Yeah. Oh yeah. He worships at the religion of SJA. Absolutely. He's a fucking idiot, and he needs to shut the fuck up.
Is me that some people don't fathom that there are other people using the internet in the world. Say what you want, America is the reason you have cars. That's
What?
Germany. Get real. Next you're gonna tell me that
What? Again, the lack of education is staggering. It really is. The lack of education. And yeah, because they're going, Henry Ford invented the automobile. Which is still incorrect because, rat bastard, you are correct. Henry Ford started with mass production of vehicles. That's what Henry Ford did. He did not actually invent the vehicle, and not even in schools. It's just that the Americanism is Henry Ford invented the vehicle, which is incorrect.
This is why I almost never comment on things outside the States. I don't know enough.
Yeah, you know what, Tree Spectre? You know what you could always do? I've done this before. If I'm curious about something, if I see a topic or a video about something, and I'm not sure I understand, I will actually put in the comments, okay, I'm not overly familiar with this topic. Can someone please explain why is X, Y, or Z happening, or what is the context with X, Y, or Z? Like, it's always good to educate yourself a little bit. To expand your knowledge base. Absolutely. So, I mean, if you want to comment in the comment section about something, just kind of go, what's the reasoning behind this? I'm not familiar with it. What's the reason? What's the context? Please educate me.
sausages aren't American. Meanwhile, in r/polls, non-Americans of Reddit, would you want to move to America permanently? Oh, look at that. Look at the overwhelming middle finger.
Holy
it's
shit.
the greatest country on earth, people. You don't want to miss out on living here. Spoken like a true customs officer hoping to get some extra revenue this year. In kindergarten, first day, we sat in a circle and all of the kids were going around the room saying where they were born, favorite color, etc. They got to me and I said that I was born in Athens, Greece. The whole class erupted in laughter. I looked over to the teacher. She was laughing as well. She said,
No.
You must mean that you were born in Athens, Georgia.
It was that moment I was thinking to myself, what the hell is she going to teach me? She's going
Sweet God, who else is face palming right now? Who else is face palming? We already know that the education system in America is fucked. We already know this. But dear God, if this doesn't exemplify it, God forbid someone actually not be born in America. Oh my God. And she is a teacher, chat. This is a fucking teacher. Both. Yeah. Unfortunately, Taurus, yeah. If only.
to teach you the greatest education system on the
Well, no,
planet.
no.
The Imperial...
Atanashi, we don't know this is Georgia. This person was just talking about I guess just knows about a city in Georgia called Athens, and just assumed. We don't know this is specifically Georgia. It could have been. It absolutely could have been. it's still fucking scary.
System.
Imagine thinking ancient Greeks were white.
Oh boy, what a beautiful conclusion to make.
You believe they were not? Are you American or something? Well, hey, calm down. Yes, he said something dumb, but there's no need to go to such extremities. Wait, in
Okay. The novelist in me is having a conniption right now. Does anybody know why? The writer me is about to have a conniption fit. And I'm curious if anybody in chat knows why it's about to have a conniption fit. Uh-huh. Extremities is a limb. This is referring to like a limb, like your arm or leg. Oh, God. American education, ladies and gentlemen.
said something dumb, but there's no need to go to such extremities. Wait, in other countries, you don't have to pay a hospital bill at all? I thought it was just cheaper, but no pay at all? That's so interesting. How do you prevent people from just jumping off stuff like idiots? How do we prevent people from just, basic self-preservation instincts? Wait, hold
Yeah.
up, American. So the only reason you are not injuring yourself deliberately is money?
Running headfirst into walls is such an expensive hobby.
Healthcare is
Oh my God. And, Max, thank you for the follow and welcome.
a human right. I'm not paying the bill for some turd that habitually abuses their own body and uses EMS like it's a taxi service. No, Bernie, no.
No.
To which, again, what is even the purpose of ambulances if not to transport?
Oh my God. Healthcare isn't a human right. Really? Oh my fuck. This is someone who basically is just extremely capitalistic. Yeah, this is someone who worships at the altar of capitalism. Oh, God.
Countries that provide universal healthcare. It's interesting how, excluding some countries there, but the closer you get to the equator, the more statistically the government doesn't care about its citizens' health. Just think, Alaska, if your land was still owned by Russia, you'd have healthcare. Universal healthcare ain't.
Okay. In fairness, though, if Alaska was still owned by Russia, their healthcare would not be great. I'm gonna do an in fairness on this one. Their healthcare would not be great if it was still owned by Russia.
We have people that call for ambulance to get from one side of town to the other, then check out of the hospital. Cheer 100.
Yes, sadistic. I'm very aware of people that do that. That is absolutely a problem. I'm not discounting that in any way, shape, or form. I'm not. I know that people abuse the EMS system. 100% I do. I know.
Ain't it, Chief? Sure, you get medical attention, but your doctors are imbeciles and more likely will harm than help you.
No, that's not at all how it works.
More people
God.
use Imperial than Metro.
And you know what? This right here is like whenever people in Canada talk about their healthcare, this is the first fucking thing that they say. The doctors are idiots. It takes you forever to get care. They always use the same fucking excuse, and it's wrong every time, and they will not listen. They will not. When you try to explain that in Canada, with universal healthcare, your doctors are not imbeciles, and it doesn't take you forever and a day to get basic care, they will not listen to you. They'll say, nope, that's wrong. I know it's wrong because I'm American, and I obviously know more about your country than you do.
Oh, that's not at all how it works.
I mean, more people use imperial than metric. The US is a large population-wise, and it's more than the entirety of all metric countries.
Yeah, why do people think stuff is more expensive in some country? All the taxes go to healthcare.
Yeah. RoboSpartan, a good chunk of the taxes do. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's why it comes from the GST in Canada, the goods and services taxes. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Taurus, you sweet summer child. Now I'm gonna do another to be fair on this one, because I know in Canada, at least in the provinces that I have been in, which is a few. I have not been to all provinces of Canada, bear in mind. Well, officially, things are used in the metric system, like speedometer and like official signage and things like that. Very frequently, people will use feet or inches in Canada when they're in conversation. They'll actually say, oh, about, if they, how big is that? Oh, about 5 feet. Ooh, baked chicken au gratin? Okay, Eki. Come on, feed me. Here's my baked chicken and potatoes au gratin. Gimme. But yeah, in conversation, people in Canada do often use imperial versus metric, just in conversation. So I'm gonna do it in fairness on that one, but officially, with all, with machinery and with signage, it is metric. It is. But like I've heard feet, inches, and miles used, probably in conversation more than I have heard kilometers or centimeters. Like I definitely hear inches used more than centimeters in Canada. I have.
No one mentions
And weight
China's
too, yeah.
measurement
Weight as
system
well.
or Russian and their cubits.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but India alone has a larger population than the US, and they use the metric system. This inflated mindset about America, it never will cease to amaze me. Your daily reminder that the insulin I've used for 24 years, Humalog, has gone from $21 a vial to $275 a vial with no changes to the insulin or even the packaging. That's a 1200% increase on a hormone every human requires to live, but my body can't make. I die in 48 hours without it. That's free in the UK. My husband has been type 1 diabetic for over 40 years. Many stays in the hospital, excellent GP care, excellent foot care weekly, 6 daily medications, free, all of it. We pay taxes, and the National Health Service is a service for all. Whoa, is someone talking about possibly dying without expensive medication? And that it seems like they're being leached?
Now, okay. I was under the impression that while medications themselves in the UK were not free, they were very cheap. Chatters that are in the UK, can you confirm or deny that I thought medications, while not free, were still very, very cheap? That was the impression that I always got. Because I know in Canada, medications are not free. Medications you are paying for in Canada. You're showing it depends on the meds RoboSpartan. Okay, so something like insulin might actually be free, whereas other medications might not be free. Okay. And okay, diabetes, that's what I was wondering. Others are limited to £5. That's what I was wondering about, being limited to £5. Okay. So some are free depending on the medication, but some only cost £5. Okay, that's what I was thinking of, and I just wanted clarification. And then while in transition, so a bit above. Okay.
for every cent they make? I better mock them for it.
My expensive frequent healthcare is subsidized at the expense of healthy people. I think it's great.
Thief. Hey, my butt. Okay, we're talking about my booty right now. We use MPH in this country. Wheels is an Australian magazine. We use metric measurements.
Yeah, well, you're on the internet, which is American.
Really? Wait. Okay, this guy... I don't know. I'm hoping this guy's just fucking around. Like, he's trolling the original poster, I'm hoping. I pray to God this is just a troll of the original post. I pray to God.
Therefore, you can use American, the best measurements.
Actually, the World Wide Web was first developed in CERN. I don't blame you for not knowing that. You're apparently an American.
Boom.
Oof.
Roasted.
Still, the EU doesn't really have homegrown computer companies. At least none come to mind. But overall, I agree.
What?
Apple hardware isn't cheap, and Europeans have less disposable income than Americans. It's why you rarely see iPhones outside Switzerland.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? The EU is the one that forced Apple to change all iPhones to accept USB-C and get rid of Lightning. That was the EU that bitch slapped Apple with this. Yeah. And they are, they are widely sold throughout Europe.
Lol, are you kidding? iPhones are everywhere in Europe. Italy, Spain, Germany, UK.
Oh yeah,
Don't
they
be
are,
silly.
Hoseki.
If that was true, then that means Europeans would be able to access the internet. We all know that only Americans use that. The feminine urge to get a giant dog, buy a tiny house in the woods, and leave your former life behind. Yes, that's purely a feminine urge. Escaping the 9 to 5.
All us manly men, however, we love a
Shadow Sparta -2. I've got I'm using an iPhone 13 and it still uses a lightning cable. Although when I get my next one, I'm probably gonna switch over to an Android, honestly. I just
Office jobs.
What are you doing to give stewardship of the land back to the people indigenous to it? I
oh my fuck.
Yeah, my point still stands.
Okay, can I just say, this may not necessarily be American. This right here, this comment, what are you doing to give stewardship of the land back to the people indigenous to it, may not necessarily be American, because holy fuck is Canada doing this too. Canada is going apeshit about with the indigenous people and their land. They literally are are having people singing the Canadian national anthem, changing the lyrics to the Canadian national anthem because it might be offensive to the indigenous people. Like they changed to. I'm trying to remember. Like there was someone. There was a singer who sung the Canadian national anthem for like a basketball game, and she changed it from like the lyric is "Oh Canada, our home on native land," and I forget what she changed it to, but she basically changed it to basically say that the indigenous people are better than the Canadians. Like to basically imply that the Canadians like stole the land. And so she literally changed the lyrics to the national anthem. And oh, you can better believe a lot of people were fucking pissed about that. Because it was sung on national TV at a basketball game. Yeah, well, here's the thing, Raph-Bastard. People were coming out of the fucking woodwork on both sides of the equation to either praise the shit out of her and call her strong and brave and everything else, and then the other side going, what the fuck are you doing changing the national anthem? How dare you?
It was war. Atrocities happened on both sides. The natives lost. These are historical events.
I mean, Spectre, you're right. It's historical events, and that's a part of it. Is you're dealing with a populace that doesn't want to accept that history happened. They're trying to ignore history because history is uncomfortable. We're seeing that everywhere. We're seeing it in Canada, we're seeing it big time in the US. They don't want to acknowledge that history is present, that history happened. They're trying to ignore it with everything that we're seeing in modern time.
Back to the people indigenous to it.
I live in Ireland.
Yeah, my point still stands.
No, it really doesn't.
Wow, just trying to erase the minority from the discussion. How typical of you white people.
I'm a Celt myself, Irish specifically. My ancestry is from Munster County.
Munster isn't a county, it's a province.
You're gonna mansplain Ireland to me when I'm Irish?
A man with an unwashed butt has an opinion again.
I know my country better than you absolute goal. God, I hope I gave that at least
Oh
one.
my god. Wow. Boom. Roasted. Fucking roasted. And yeah, this is again another typical, white savior, white girl. Although she's a redhead. So she does have that in her if that's her natural hair color. She is a redhead, so she at least is a redhead. Next thing you know, she's gonna accuse him of trying to castle redheads.
1/5 of the justice it deserves to be pronounced as.
I'm proud to say that my blood last name is Bambini, and although my ancestry DNA gives me 0 Italian DNA on my dad's side, I'll stick with being 1/4 Italian.
Thus is the most American thing I've read.
Why?
Well, okay, 0 Italian on your dad's side. What about your mom's side, dude? Like, what about your mom's DNA? She was a big part of 1/2 of your DNA. Although I'm guessing the dad's name is Bambini, and there is such a thing as marrying into names.
4th Italian.
Thus is the most American thing I've read.
Why does Italian pizza look so bad? It seems uneven and disproportionate, whereas American pizza is far more balanced in its design.
Munster isn't a province, it's a cheese. Cheer 100.
And texture.
If someone wants to just... No, I'm not going to be against it, okay? I'm going to turn the other way. Even if this is a bait. If they're just doing this as a troll, no, I'm sorry. There's just some lines you don't cross. To remember how
Yeah.
many feet there are in a mile, you just gotta use 5 tomatoes. 5 tomatoes sounds like 5280, and there's 5,280 feet in a mile. Simple! To remember how many meters there are in a kilometer, you just remember 1,000 because the system of measurement in the rest of the world wasn't invented by a drunk mathematician rolling dice.
He's a president.
Okay. That's pretty fucking based. That's pretty based.
System of measurement in the rest of the world wasn't invented by a drunk mathematician rolling dice.
He's a president, like him or not.
Hashtag not my president.
He is!
No, he literally isn't my president. I'm Norwegian.
Wait, other countries didn't have to sing their national anthem every day at school for 12 years?
Hey, I've heard about I've heard about other people, talk about this, how the fact that, when you're... Now, I don't think that's being... chat in America. Confirm or deny for me. I thought that there was not the Pledge of Allegiance in schools anymore, at least past, grade, 3 or 4. I thought that was not really being done anymore. By middle school it stopped, and it's school by school. Okay. Because that's one thing I've heard about, when it comes to the Pledge of Allegiance, saying it in school, is it's people outside of America often view this as, cultish. They view the whole saying the Pledges of Allegiance at the beginning of school every day, they view it like a cult. The actions of a cult. You had to do it in high school, Eki? Wow. Holy shit. Really, Johnny? The school in Argentina did it. So you basically did a Pledge of Allegiance to the Argentinian flag in school. Interesting. I wonder how many other I'm gonna guess that. No, I don't think so, rat bastard. Oh, the national anthem. Wait, Johnny, so you had to sing the national anthem every morning in school? Is that what they did? Or you just had to, like, hear it, or they just played it or something? Oh, interesting. Okay. So that's kind of this adjacent, honestly. And I have no doubt that, like, in Russia, they probably do something like that in school every day. I can absolutely see Russia doing something like that. You had to do it in college, Morals? Holy shit! Wow, that's kind of insane. King, I've never actually heard. I don't think I've actually fully heard the Russian national anthem before, honestly. Yeah, well, I can imagine, Johnny. I can imagine.
I remember they tried to make us, at least once a week. We genuinely could not remember or cared to remember the lyrics of the national anthem.
Here at Chicago, we're proud to be the pizza capital of the world. Hashtag National Pizza Day.
Okay, so 9th of February 2021 was the day a state of America declared war on Europe.
Yay!
Congrats.
And of course, they did this. Because of course they did this. Third grade, no big? Okay. That sounds about right. No big. About third grade? That sounds about right. No, King, no. Chicago, I don't think is that bad where it kind of aligns itself as like being a city-state. It really isn't. Now, New York? NYC? Yeah, and Canito, that's why I'm surprised there wasn't a response from New York on this one. Honestly, I was fully expecting a New York and NYC comment.
A poll here. We do see it as cultish, because in our culture, flag and anthem are pretty much sacred, and therefore are saved for special occasions and formal celebrations. We did learn the lyrics in elementary school, however.
And message makes perfect sense. That absolutely makes perfect sense. And chat. You do remember where I originally hail from, right? Right. And, well, Ting, that makes sense because let's face it, out of Illinois, Chicago is the one notable thing in Illinois. Let's be honest. And I will say, I will say though, I've never been a big fan of the Chicago style deep dish pizza. I'm not a big fan of deep dish pizza as a whole. I'm more of a thin crust pizza cat girl. But I also will point out that Jon Stewart, like, ripped apart the Chicago deep dish pizza and lauded how NYC pizza was so much better. And then someone from Illinois, I forget what official from Illinois, or from Chicago, came on his show and brought the deep dish pizza.
Even the thin crust is horrible. Cheer 100.
Thin crust is fine. But someone from Chicago actually brought Jon Stewart a deep dish pizza and had him try a slice, and he actually waved the white flag and he actually went, "This is pretty delicious." So don't fuck with a deep dish when even Jon Stewart is like, okay, this is pretty good. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
The world. Hashtag National Pizza Day.
Okay, so 9th of February 2021 was the day a state of America declared war on Europe.
Yay!
Wait. Even the narrator here just called Chicago a state. The narrator of NK here just called Chicago a state. I wonder if that was intentional or not.
Congrats! Thanks, we are so excited. Have you picked out any names? I'm pretty sure we are naming her... pronounced like... rifle.
What the actual fuck?
Cheer 100. Notice how I am not making fun of Chicago. I'm sure there are things from Chicago I would like to eat.
Chicago has a lot of very tasty delicacies, Bobcat. It does. Like every major city in the US has its own like delicacies that are intrinsic to that city that are very tasty. But I'm sorry. What is this? What is this? Did they literally just stick their cat on the keyboard and have the cat walk across the keyboard to name their child? Bobcat was referring to me? Okay, I was just saying. Oh, Theo, naughty boy.
Rifle. They're naming the child Rifle. Are they parents in some sort of dystopian...
Not only naming their child Rifle, but spelling it like... just, if you skim your eyes over this, you immediately think it says Raleigh. Just like, if you just like are not looking at it and then look over at it, you instantly think it's saying Raleigh. Like, this is an affront to the English language. Right here. This is 100% an affront to the English language.
teen novel? Wait, is there another city called Rome that doesn't exist in Georgia, USA? I was
Oh my
watching Fox
fuck.
News and they...
There you go.
Hey, Ember, are you today's date? 'Cause you are a 10 out of 10. I'll see myself out now.
No, Dracel, that's very sweet. That's very sweet. Thank you. I'm gonna let it
You
continue.
mentioned Rome in Italy? I am confused. Is there a Rome in Italy? That's...
Okay. This right here is all you need to know regarding the educational intellectual level of this posting individual. All right there. This makes all of this make perfect fucking sense. And good evening, Ark. Welcome.
Literally, it is literally the most famous and original place called Rome. Oh, wow. Can anybody tell me if Portugal has running water like in the States? No, only walking water. Everything is slower there.
We don't drink water in Portugal. We just drink wine. Water is
My
for
God.
suckers.
Once you've bathed in vino verde, you never go back. No, but...
Okay, I am fucking loving these responses. I am absolutely loving the troll responses to this obviously dumb fuck question. This is fucking beautiful. I absolutely love this.
But they have running wine. Water faucets come with white and red taps. White for white wine, red for red. You won't be disappointed.
Oh, the most inconvenient part of living in Portugal is
Getting used to using communal outhouses? Flush indoor toilets are hard to find. You all obviously jest.
This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful trolling. I fucking love this so much.
But you know this person is going to take these to heart. Is Mediterranean a slur to Italians? Answer, no. It is a C. You guys...
Okay, I'm going to do another in fairness. I'm going to do another in fairness because very frequently Italians, particularly with how they appear, especially in like romance novels, very frequently Mediterranean is used to describe someone who is Italian based on the looks, like a Mediterranean look of the olive skin and the eye shape. That is frequently used. So I'm gonna cut the person asking this question, or Greek. Yeah, Greek is another one. Although I hear it more frequently used to describe Italians more than Greek, realistically speaking. Although yes, it has been used to describe Greek individuals. So I'm gonna actually give someone a lot of slack on this, asking this question, because because this descriptor is often used in novels, like I said, particularly romance novels. So definitely, you know, I don't consider this like, oh, an American being an American. It's a reasonable question given the context.
Answer: no. It is a C. You guys call soccer football. That's not normal. I'm just gonna
Oh, for
drop
fuck's
this
sake.
here. So as
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's literally called football everywhere except Australia, South Africa, and America. And wait, does Scotland call soccer soccer? I thought Scotland also called it football. Am I wrong? I thought Scotland also referred to it as football. Or Ireland, excuse me, not Scotland. God, I don't know why I said Scotland. Ireland, I mean. I thought Ireland also called it football. But they don't. Okay. Okay.
you can see, literally, what, 3, 4-ish countries? Okay, look, there's quite a few, but definitely not as many as saying football. That's okay, America.
We over here in Oceania support you.
But okay, based on this evidence,
Really homely.
what can we
Okay.
conclude? It's amazing to see how few countries know that.
Funnily enough, soccer, wow, the original word, cheer 100.
Yeah, that's what Homely was just saying. Is it was originally called soccer, and the U.S. just simply didn't change the name. So, you know what? You know what? This guy's kind of right. This guy is kind of right. We give the credit where it's due. To a degree, the US and, South America and Australia and Ireland are right. They are using the original names. I will 100% give the credit where it's due. They are right in that respect. Well, I mean, the siege, soccer is soccer. It's not football. I mean, I understand why I understand the context. Like, why is football called football in America when you only kick it about 5% of the time or 10% of the time? Fair enough. I don't know why it was ended up called football.
Not as many as saying football. That's okay, America.
We over here in Oceania support you.
But okay, based on this evidence, what can we conclude? It's amazing to see how few countries know that soccer is the correct term. Gotta love that doubling down here.
No. This is like what you guys were saying. The original word for it is soccer. He's right. He is right. Absolutely right. And welcome back, Jameson. So yeah, he is correct. The American is, assuming this person is correct, or American, he is right. For one of the first times in this video, the American is 100% correct over everyone else.
How few countries know that soccer is the correct term. Gotta love that doubling down here at Swadley's Barbecue where they can't afford the staff.
Did you know our servers survive on your tipping kindness?
Based on them titling themselves as world famous, I assume they've transitioned to a European country and are shocked that they have to abide by the fact that people don't tip there as much. At least American toilets.
I mean, This is one thing I hear a lot of people from other countries talk about, that tipping is not a thing. I know in Japan it's not. In Japan, tipping is actually considered an insult. In Europe, European people in chat, to my understanding, tipping is not a thing in Europe. For the most part. Oh, yes, Aaron. Absolutely. Canada has the same tipping culture as the US does. 100%. Absolutely it does. And Crimson, I have said that for many a year. I have said that for many a year, that if the employers actually paid reasonable wages to their employees, there would be no need for tipping. Because the whole purpose for tipping is so the employers don't need to actually pay their employees decent wages. They're counting on the customer paying the employees' wages. That's it. Granted, an employer that has a tipping-based business does have to pay an employee proper wages if they do not earn enough with tips to make minimum wage. But they're banking on the fact that the customers will basically pay their employees' wages, essentially.
And are shocked that they have to abide by the fact that people don't tip there as much. At least American toilets aren't just holes in the ground.
You realize that America isn't the only developed country, right?
Basically, all of Europe has a much better educational system and normal plumbing. Ooh, shots fired.
Yeah. And yes, Barf, it's not only will they run you down to give it back.
I always try and tip well. Everyone enjoys a nice big tip. Cheer 100.
Amazing.
Cheer 100. Fun fact: more Americans sound like the original English speaker than in England because England has bastardized the language.
Cynic, yes, you are correct. The original English accent in the UK, it is very, very similar to the American accent. You are 100% correct about that. And the current British accent is not the original one. You are absolutely right about that. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, with Japanese with tipping, not only will they chase you down because they think you left your money behind, if you say to them, "Oh no, that's your tip," that's actually an insult to a Japanese worker, because for Japanese workers in like restaurants, if you offer a tip, it implies that they gave you bad service. And so a tip in Japan is considered an insult because it implies that their worker did bad service, and thus the owner will look down on that employee, thinking that they did not provide good service.
Fired. So Norway just called the United States underdeveloped? The NTNU strongly recommends that all...
Wait, what?
just called the United States underdeveloped? The
Wow.
NTNU strongly recommends that all NTNU students who are outside Norway return home. This applies especially if you are staying in a country with poorly developed health services and infrastructure and/or collective infrastructure.
Whoa.
For example, the USA.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That, yeah, that shot's fired.
The word soccer is a slang term that originated in England in the 1880s as a shortened version of the original name of the sport, association football.
Okay. Okay. But, okay, I want to say, poorly developed health services means that basically the Norwegian students, we have to pay. They're not actually saying this, they're having to condense it, but this is basically indicate if you need health services in the United States, you have to pay for it, and they know how prohibitively expensive healthcare is in the United States. As far as infrastructure goes, let's be honest, chat, not wrong. Infrastructure in the United States is pretty poor. It is. It's not great. But it's still shots fired.
Oh man, this was 2020 as well, so as the pandemic was rolling out. Gotta say, I don't think we blame them for suggesting this.
Imagine caring about what some country the size of LA County thinks. Lamau.
Nice try, but slavery is illegal. Has been since 1865, actually.
United States laws certainly apply all over the world, don't they?
I'd like you to show me the exact line in the 13th Amendment that says this only applies to the US.
MAGA. The delusion is so strong with this one. Oh my god.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Have you ever avoided taking an ambulance because you could not afford?
Well, King Elzen, the argument could be made that people incarcerated and forced to work could be considered slaves. That I've heard that argument made many a times that incarcerated individuals that have to work are basically slaves.
Afford it.
Look at me, I'm truth.
You ever avoided taking an ambulance because you could not afford it?
Look at me, I'm truth. The ambulance is not your taxi to the hospital.
What
Oh my fuck.
is it then, sir?
Imagine Imagine being paramedics. You were attending to someone who's broken both their legs. All right, we've stabilized you for now. Just don't move. You just got to walk down the street for about 30 minutes. There's a hospital just over there. All right.
30 minutes? Good luck. Try a lot of people, if they were to have to walk to the hospital, it could take them a fucking hour or two. Let's be realistic here, depending on where you live.
See ya. And just drives off. Really slowly too, though. And just like... with both the ambulance drivers just staring at the victim as they drive off really slowly. Last year on Twitch, I randomly watched some American guy play Sonic. He said, "Hi, I'm American. Don't know if you could tell." And someone in the chat said she could probably tell from your accent. And he said, with zero irony, "Not really. The Americans don't have an accent." He refused to back down when people were going, "Mate." A man in his 30s believed he had no accent, and it was just everybody else who had.
Okay. The Americans themselves have multiple accents. Exactly, Taurus. Accent is subjective. Very subjective. America alone has how many different accents within fucking America? But I will say that while a lot of Canadians do have the quintessential Canadian accent, or if you're in Newfoundland, the 100% Newfoundland accent, I have actually spoken with plenty of Canadians who actually sound Midwestern. More than a few Canadians that I've spoken to actually do sound Midwestern, and you would not know that they're Canadian. So there is a little bit of unfairness going on here. And, if he may or may not have known that she is from the UK, but Roma Spartan, it's the egg thing isn't as, I don't consider it as prevalent. Now, you will absolutely know if you're talking to a Newfoundlander if they say bye every other word. Because Newfoundlanders will use bye all the fucking time. They'll say it when they say hello, like, "How's it going, bye?" So that's one way you can easily tell a Newfoundlander.
Accents. US Asians discover Aldi and other normal supermarket things found in the rest of the world. The future. Not a single lie was told.
Aldi has been living in the future for years.
Wait. USians, okay, discover Aldi and other normal supermarket things found in
First of all, they make stocking less time consumable by leaving that Schmidt in the box. They realize that no one actually cares if a cashier is seated. Then they make you get out of the way and bag your own stuff so the line moves faster.
I feel a lot of pride as an Australian to know that
Well, I mean, Nick talked about this one.
technically Australia got Aldi before America did.
Why are Americans such a loud presence on the internet? Like, I know there's like 500 million of you, but damn, shut the flip up sometimes.
Offended by
Uh-huh.
our patriotism, Wattpad girl.
Suffering from secondhand embarrassment, more like.
Boom. Roasted.
Oof. Ha. Whew. I anticipate many fiery comments after I post this one. You see?